Welcome back, Embers, or if you're new here, welcome to the Campfire Crew. My name is Stone, my pronouns are they, them, and today we're going to be doing a little shop my stash. This is my first shop my stash, and it's going to be a little weird. I tried to do this video already. I was just trying to edit it, and it was really bad. It was my back-facing camera doesn't work, and I was trying to do it where I didn't show my face, and I just showed my products, and I just don't have the setup for that because I use my phone. I don't have a budget or anything, so I just couldn't find a way to make that work. So I'm just going to show you what's in my fall rotation and what's not, and how I am prepping it. This is really my first time doing a shop my stash and kind of sectioning off my makeup like this. As my collection's gotten a little bit bigger, it's become more prudent to do so. Anyway, so this is just going to be have to be how we do it. So I'm just going to show you what's in my rotation right now. So the first thing is these two are my Pandos palettes. So obviously these palettes are staying in. And this is my Project Level Up palette. So that's also staying in. So that's it for these three. Are all of my everything that's in a project is just these three. I'm just doing eyeshadow projects this year. So yeah, these three are obviously staying in. And then I talked about how 2 weeks before I filmed this Shop My Stash, I tried to do another one so I could swap them out. And this was in my summer Shop My Stash, which was only around for 2 weeks. And obviously it's a very summery palette, and I put that away. I'm putting this away now that summer's over, and I'm definitely not keeping this palette. Let me go through the rest of the palettes I own. Yeah, that's them. Okay. So this is my Phoebe palette. If you don't want spoilers on my Project Level Up, I'm going to show the inside of all of these, so just know that there's going to be spoilers. This is my Phoebe palette. I decided not to have this. So I have 3 palettes here, and what I really wanted to do was have these 3 and then have at least one extra one just to play with that isn't a part of the project. So I looked at this and I kind of thought about it for these browns because I have a couple browns in my project, but I almost put this in, but I ultimately decided on a different palette. Once I opened it up, I was like, oh, that's much more perfect, which I'll show you at the very end. So that's not going in. Then we have this guy, which is my I Heart Revolution Big Cheese, and this has been in my Project Level Up. There we go. Before, and it's very bright and summery, so that's not going in. I also have a palette. That's the Citrus Punch palette by Simply Posh Cosmetics. I bought this, but I haven't opened it yet. As you can see, it's still in the packaging. I usually don't keep this packaging, but I haven't opened this up at all, even to look at it yet, because obviously shelf lives are determined by when you open the palette. So just because I have a lot of eyeshadow, I'm doing a lot of eyeshadow projects, I decided that I'm not going to open this until summer. Really, what happened is that Simply Posh started selling this, so they were selling it and then they stopped selling it and they restocked it, and I just really wanted to make sure I got my hands on it before it went away for good. So I bought it, and it's just going to sit in my collection until at least spring next year, maybe up until summer next year. So not going to be opening this yet, but I'm very excited for the spring or summer when I finally do open it up. I also have these 2 palettes. So this one's the Indigo Ink, and I'm excited to use this in winter, but for fall, I don't think it's really a fall palette, so that wasn't really an option. And the last one I didn't decide to use is my Def Leppard palette, and mostly I'm not using this because it's my one palette left in my Project Level Up. This is going to be my level 1, my second level 1 palette. Because this one's for Project Level Up, it's level 5. This is the last one I have left in my collection that hasn't been in Project Level Up. So it's going to be for level 1, and I just didn't want to use it. Also, I don't think it's really fall color story. I think it's more spring, maybe a little summer, but definitely a spring palette. So I decided not to use this. And then I actually kind of forgot about my Sephora Wishing You palette. It was kind of hidden away, but then I opened it up and I realized that it is a beautiful fall palette. So this is the Lax palette I decided to keep in, and I've already used it a few times, especially for, I think I've used this green. Oh yeah, I have once, and then I've used these shimmers a couple of times with some of the things in my Pan That palette. It's just this really pretty dark kind of grungy color story, except for this shade, which is pretty bright, inner corner. But the rest of the shades in here are just so full. So when I opened this up, I was like, oh, forget, I almost put in the Phoebe palette and I was like, forget that, this is perfect. And it has been, because I've already used it a couple times. It's been about a week. So yeah, these four are my palettes for the next at least 2 months, probably a little bit into November, and I'll probably switch these out once it starts snowing. I consider fall basically until it starts snowing, and then I do it into winter. So yeah, I'm gonna keep these. And then this is how I store these, is I have this is my cat food brand. I just took the lid off of a box and I'm just keeping them in there. So yeah, let me just put these all right back. And that's just kind of how I store them for no particular reason. I just needed somewhere to put them. So yeah, these are the 4 palettes that I'm keeping in for fall. This one's going to be switched out with the Def Leppard palette whenever I reach that level in my project level up. But so it's really these 3 plus whatever's in my project level up for my palettes. So we got that. And then the rest of my makeup I keep in here just because it's all pretty small. So this has all my brushes. It has, well, it should have, I don't know if it currently has, it should have whatever marker I'm using for the month. It just has all the rest of my makeup that isn't palettes. So let me take all this out beside me. So I actually have 2 primers. So I'm keeping this one in because it's the one that's almost done. I lost this, so I rebought it. And then I found it. So this is open, but I want to finish this one up, obviously. So this is going into my little box, and this can go back. And then other things that I'm just going to keep all the time. I have these 2 mascaras. This is the one I actually bought. This is a rebuy. It's the CoverGirl Clump Crusher, and I just really like it. Let me actually, I didn't do this in the original video, but I really want to show you. This is the wand I have. I don't know if this is going to help. It's fully plastic synthetic, and it's this like really curved, there's a cat in here and I don't know which one. It's this really curved plastic shape, and I just really like these. The bristles are really, really short, which is good for my hooded eyes so I don't get it absolutely everywhere like I do some others. I really like this. And it's my only proper mascara. It's the one I bought. And then I also have this MAC stack that I got my only time ever buying from Sephora. Originally I put this in here to try it. I've tried it one more time. I don't know how I feel about the formula itself, but I hate this wand. It's one of those, actually it is also fake. It's just too long. It's too big on my eyes. I have like really hooded eyes. I have really long eyelashes. And so I find it just always hits my lower eyes, my upper eyes. It just gets everywhere because the wand's too big for my eyes. So I'm actually going to throw this out. Actually, I might keep it and try and use my other ones and see if I like this formula, try and like save it. I don't know. Let me know if I can save this or repurpose it in some way, or what I should do with this to not have to throw it out. But I definitely don't want to use it again. I hate the wand. It sucks. Then let's go for blush. So there's a couple blushes I was using for the summer. So for summer blushes, I had out 3 blushes. I had out the Glossier Cloud Paint, and this is in the shade Dawn. I don't know if this is doing anything, it's just the phone, but it's this like orange shade. It's in the shade Dawn, and I decided to keep it in for spooky season because I love Halloween. I love Halloween. So I'm keeping this in for spooky season. And then the other 2 are glowy blushes. So the first one I have is the Menagerie Arthrine blush. It's their glow blush in the shade Best Buds. Again, I don't know if you can read that. But it's this bright pink shade with like gold shimmer. On the website, it looked like it was orange shimmers. So at first I didn't really like this, but now that I actually know what it's like and what to expect when I put it on my eye or on my cheeks, I like it enough. I don't like it as much as what I'm about to talk about, but it's okay. I know how to use it, but I don't think I'm going to be using glowy blushes for the fall and winter. I just feel like they're really spring and summer because I definitely do like to do my makeup based on the season. So yeah, glowy blushes for me, not really for fall, winter. I have to go let my cat out. Give me a second. Okay, and the last blush I had out for the summer is the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Joy, and this is their powder glowy blushes. I've heard that this is a divisive blush and that not everyone loves it, and honestly, now that I think about it, I get it, because this is blingy, but it's really finely milled in a way that this Menagerie Glow one isn't, and I think it's so beautiful. But again, glowy blush is just not for me, but I love, 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 love this. It is very highlightery though. So if you don't want like a blush lighter, this is not for you. So both of these are going away. In terms of other blushes, other than the one that I already talked about, the cloud paint that was already in my palette and I'm keeping in, I have one more cloud paint. I hadn't opened this. I finally opened this. This is in the shade Eve. It's really dark. I finally opened it for fall. I bought it a few months ago in the middle of summer, and it's just this really dark purple shade. So I thought it's not very summery. I didn't end up using it, but it's definitely a fall winter shade for me. So I'm putting that in. And another shade that I didn't really use that much in the summer is another Arthrine blush. This is my second one. I mean, this is all of my makeup, like total. And that's in the shade Persimmon. I don't know why I keep doing that. But this is the shade. It's a really pretty blush, especially for the fall and winter. It's very natural, at least as natural as I tend to go. I tend to layer a lot of it on, but it's just a really nice matte blush for the fall and winter. And honestly, it'd probably be good for spring. It's just really pretty. It's a little bit more muted than what I like in the summer, but it's just a really nice, a little bit dark blush. It looks really beautiful and natural if I want it to be, but I don't. So I usually layer it up, but it's a really pretty blush and I'm excited to use it more. And then we have lip products. I'm missing one. Give me a second. Okay, so the last set of products I have in my entire collection, I don't do any foundation, I don't do bronzer, I don't do concealer, I don't do contour. I don't do a lot of base products other than, I think blush is the only one I have. So yeah, my last set of products is lip products. I just put them all together because I only have a couple. And spoiler, I am keeping all of them in. So I wasn't really using this one in the summer, but it's, what are you called? It smells really good. I don't know what the line is called, but it's just these like bullet lipsticks. It's this really dark, pretty purple color. This is how much there is in here. And it's the shade Dahlia. I didn't use this in the summer much, but it's perfect for the winter and fall. And these three I was using a lot in the summer. This one, the Tower 28, this is the gloss in the shade Fire. Really like this, keeping it in until we're done Halloween because it is orange, and that is the only reason. Because I feel like gloss for me, this is the only gloss I've ever owned. Actually, this is all the makeup I've ever owned. Anyway, this is my first time trying gloss. Don't love the Tower 28 formula. I feel like it's a little thin for me in particular. I just fuck around with my lips too much when there's stuff on them, so it doesn't really last that well. And it kind of goes like outside of my thin ass lips. But yeah, I like the color a lot. I think it'll be good for fall, especially for like Halloween. So I'm keeping it in. I'll probably take it out in the summer. And then these two shades Smell Like Vanilla. They are from Maybelline. They're the Ultimate line. They're these like thinner bullets. And I love this formula. I don't know why. I just really like, I didn't mention, I find the Milani formula doesn't stay within my lip line very well. I think I need a lip liner with it, and I just don't own one right now. Not my favorite formula, would not buy again. I think I like a more matte lip formula just because I don't like to fuck with them. Or I don't like to mess with them. I like to just put them on and forget them, and I feel like matte formulas just stay in place better, and that's what I'm looking for because I just don't want to mess with my face throughout the day. Anyway, this is the shade More Stone. I'm keeping this in. I think most of my eyeshadow, or all of my lipsticks, are very fall toned lipsticks anyway. I love that it's called More Stone because I'm stone, and that's hilarious to me. So I'm keeping this one in. How did you get in here, buddy? Come on. Come on. This is my kitty. His name is Titan. I love him very much. I didn't even know he was in this room. I think he wants out. Okay. Oh, now he's sniffing things. Hey, buddy. What was I talking about, buddy? I don't remember. You're so cute. I'll let you out in a minute, buddy. Okay? Almost done. I promise. If I could only find the lipstick I was literally just holding. He's like, Mom, let me out. I don't even know how long he's been in here. Am I sitting on it? Where? I was sitting on it. Okay. The last lipstick I own is same formula, Ultimate by Maybelline. And this one is more rust. And like the name implies, sorry, I gotta smell these. They smell like vanilla and I love them. It's this like slightly ruddy orange color, like a very orange red. It's a little darker than it's appearing on camera, but it is so beautiful and perfect for this time of year. So definitely keeping this in. I'm going to love this time of year. It's the perfect fall shade. So that's what I've been putting in my Shop My Stash. I hope you enjoyed. This was long. I'm gonna go let my cat out of the bedroom. Bye, guys.